Now they do not see the grind that we go through.
Hey everyone, so welcome to the podcast. A bit different today. I am at home because I did an early podcast. It was virtual. So we did it with Omar Soltan, a wrestler, martial artist, chef, and now a foodie and a huge soccer fan. And I am blessed to have him in my life. He was one of my students in martial arts. This young man has grown to be a very wonderful person, as well as driven, successful, and just wanted to share his life, his insights with you. Enjoy the podcast. What's your day-to-day look like right now?
Day to day look like right now. Shit. Yo, honestly, 5 a.m. wake up. Gym probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. Just for like mental fortitude, just and gratitude, just like that the dedication part of it that give me strength. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do that for an hour. I'm back home by like 7:30, 8 realm. I get my meals ready for the day since now I work in the city. And I just get my meals ready. Boom, and I take the train. I take the 9 o'clock train, and I get home at 9 o'clock. That's my literally day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, my schedule, my life changed in a heartbeat. Because my schedule used to be that financial freedom, enjoy that life schedule. So 9 to 9, I come home for a little bit. Obviously, I kick it with the family, and then I'll just put on some TV, get some Zen time, meditate a little bit, and then that's it. Tomorrow, repeat.
Let's kind of go back in your life. Who would you say is the biggest role model that really is in your heart right now? Who's your biggest role model in life that made you the person you are right now?
Honestly, would be my parents. Definitely be both my parents. They came to the U.S. obviously as immigrants with English not as their strongest language at all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. And they fed 3 kids, raised them to be great kids, successful kids, gave those kids a great life with basically less bullets. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Less bullets in the gun, and they made it happen. And the amount of like struggle they went through in the grind, like seeing my dad work 16-hour shifts. He would leave home at 6:30 to get home 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
My mother raised 3 kids by herself. Food, cook, clean, school, all that. On top of that, doing a side job, just my pops. So it was like, it's crazy. Like to me, it was just like every time I complain about working, we're like, oh, I'm doing this, but they were doing this for us, not for them. Everything was, well, I need to get a house for my kids. I want to put my kids in a better neighborhood. I want my kids in good clothes. I want to get my kids a new video game. I've never seen my dad buy himself a video game or something, or like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like everything was for us. So this day, the goal now is to become as successful as I can to repay them, hopefully in this life or maybe the next life.
Now, a lot of people don't understand here in the Philippines, especially, and maybe in Egypt as well. How hard was it for you guys as an immigrant family to make things happen in America?
No, a lot of people in Egypt, for example, think that we live here, and I'm gonna speak basically like if I'm from America, if I come from America, that I'm living in a house made of gold. I drive a Lamborghini every day.
Yeah.
I eat the best top-notch food because obviously the economical reasons that are going back home.
Right.
Now they do not see the grind that we go through, which is just like I told you right now. Imagine I tell my cousin you have to come and work a 9 to 9 every day. He'll shoot himself. Because back home, they're used to their typical status quo and leisure lifestyle. Like one of the biggest things I loved about Egypt was always having leisure. You work your 7 to 3. That's it. You go home. You chill out at night. You make enough to live a decent life no matter what. You know what I mean?
No,
and everything is just lively. You're not a slave to society just to afford rent.
Oh no, I definitely get it. Like a lot of people don't understand here that people in America, man, I mean, especially me when I lived in America, 2 to 3 jobs easy. That's like status quo for some people.
And it's still not enough.
No,
and it's still not enough.
So no, and thank you for clarifying that, because a lot of people don't really understand what it is to, especially as an immigrant family. It's super hard to adjust to the culture that's not your own, especially you're in a bowl with other cultures and understanding and trying to vibe with them as well. So, especially like in New York, where it's like, it's literally the melting pot. or one of the melting pots there in America.
One of these, yeah.
Now, can you maybe it's up to you if you want to go deep, but was there a time in your life where it was integral, or a time in your life where it really made you the person you are? A instance in life, or something happened in life where it made you the person you are today?
No, of course we did. There was a lot that happened to me in life that made me who I am. First of all, like growing up in Queens, New York. That's a big, like you said, melting pot. The type of dudes that come out of there, like it's like the jungle.
Yeah.
So as a young kid, even though I was 8 years old or whatever it is, the mindset was to like, I gotta be the GOAT. I gotta be him. I need to walk on the streets and like, everybody salute. Everybody wants to make money. You see other people around you. So growing up in Queens, New York, and then after that, moving to Egypt now was also another. I lived in Egypt for 8 years, so it was another like spark. Because you only had two types of classes. You had the rich and you had the poor.
Got it.
Yes, the middle class existed, but it really wasn't a middle class. It was not a thing, So then the hustle that you see and living in America, the poor chill with the rich chill with the middle class. We all hang out with each other.
Yeah.
In Egypt, that was not a thing.
Yeah.
But me as a person, since I'm an American and I came with that mentality, I will be kicking it with the poor guy. I'll be kicking it with this guy. I'll be kicking it with the rich. Then what you start taking is a little bit of everybody, and especially and how to hustle and how your personality to come out and how to utilize your charisma and who you are. So now moving towards that, growing up also like in America as a Muslim Egyptian, during September 11 was tough times. Absolutely. And then moving to Egypt now as an American who it's like another tough time. So like it's like like a tug of war.
Yeah, right.
But at the end of the day, the traits of growing up in Queens and now living in Egypt started to teach me like how to adapt to what I have to get into. Now, always growing up, I was a kid full of energy, full of like life, and like I was always competitive and I was just all about doing stuff. I definitely think I have ADHD. How active, like I'm just like always energy's full of life. I'm starting to do stuff. I like doing I love multitasking, and I love being under pressure, staying busy. So as I started growing older, I was kind of I was a misbehaved kid in school for sure.
Yeah.
And all my teachers were like, "Yeah, you're not making it in life. Like,
same here.
You don't even pay attention, And then now when I started maturing, I guess my goal was to prove all that wrong. And then I started getting really competitive with nature and everything around me. So knowing that my boy, shout out to him, and always if they're doing great, now I want to do better. I'm happy for them, absolutely. But I have two legs, I have two eyes, two ears, a brain. Nothing from me and him is different.
Right.
So why am I behind now? So then the competitive nature of who I am started to kick in. So then I was on a mission of being my best self. So then I started to stop looking at everybody around me and focus on what my flaws are and what my strengths are and how to strengthen my flaws and keep my strengths still like sharpened.
Right.
So as I went, I always tell myself I need to find my best self. Like I need to find my best self. I can't lose the battle.
It's one of those like steel sharpens steel, right? Pretty much.
Exactly, and that's what I was starting to get to at this point,
As a segue, I just wanted to ask, like you grew up in Egypt for quite some time, and I lived in the Philippines.
I'm sorry.
Like I know, just want to as a segue question, like when you were in Egypt, like just like I was in America, did people misconstrue your attitude as being too cocky or too like, yo, you're too much out there, man. You're not humble.
Honestly, not at all. I mean, I came in with because now I'm in a different environment.
Okay.
So I came in like, when the beta wolf or whatever, the outcast comes in and he's just trying to build his way up again.
Yeah.
That's what I came in. So I came in, I observed, and I stayed to myself.
Nice.
Because like, okay, I need to understand how they roll. That was like the same thing when I moved back here when I was 16. So when I moved now from Egypt to America, it's a whole different culture switching in.
If people want to understand kind of your mindset or your brain, what are you looking at YouTube? Like what 2 or 3 people are you looking at YouTube for? If you are, for motivation, any books you're reading for motivation or anything right now for motivation?
It's funny that you said that. To be honest, when it comes to motivation, I really can't look at anyone else but myself.
Right.
It's crazy. I know. I don't like to, like I said, I don't like to study the game. I'd rather the game study me. So I'm like the type where if I need to rely on the next man for motivation, then I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I can't find it within me, then then that's not for me.
Right.
But do I have people that I'm a fan of? Absolutely. That probably are in the same realm of me and like do stuff as me? Absolutely. But for example, you know, I love my food reviews and I love my food and I go around and I rate restaurants. But if I sat here and watched Guy Fieri every day, I'm gonna try my best to be Guy Fieri. But in reality, I just need to be myself. And this is who I am, and if people accept me for who I am, then that's how I'm gonna grow. But am I a fan of Guy Fieri? Absolutely. Guy makes $73 million a year. Opened up Guy Fieri restaurants. He's a very successful person, and he gets to live his life by traveling the states and enjoying food. My goal is to travel the world and enjoy cultures and their food, and meet people and meet their history. Because I was always a history guy. I was always a culture and geography guy, and just the beauty of nature. That was always me. That's always who I am. That was always my goal with it. So if I'm going to sit here and look at this guy, well, he worked his ass off to get there, so it's my turn now to do the same thing.
I would love for you to start your food journey here, or one of your food stops here in the Philippines.
Oh, I need to. I would love to come down there and food blog the Philippines. That would actually be a genius idea.
I think it
show
is,
people.
Yeah.
Like what they probably eat on the islands is probably different from what they eat in like the big city of Manila.
Yeah.
What they eat on this city, and it's just like that would be just sick because I feel like people have a misconception when it comes to food, and people just need to get enlightened on every person's life and tradition and culture and what they do. You know what I mean? You can't. If you don't like something because you was raised a specific way, it doesn't mean it doesn't work for somebody else. So, there's a reason why they see the beauty in it.
Talking about food-wise, what's the weirdest thing you've ever ate?
The worst city?
What's the weirdest thing you have ever ate?
The weirdest thing would have to be cow tongue.
Okay. I eat that all day around here.
I remember when I first moved to Egypt.
Yeah.
They served me cow tongue, chicken heart, sheep heart, and liver.
That sounds like a daily
and brain.
That sounds like a daily food over here.
The brain.
I just had beef tripe yesterday.
You said what?
I just had beef tripe yesterday.
Yeah, you see, you said beef tripe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love tripe though. It's very like weird texture, but it's also very rich. But when I saw that, I almost fainted.
The tongue?
The whole tongue.
Wow. Now
it's made in a nice broth.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, you have to get initiated. You have to eat it. Brain. They put brain in a sandwich. They make brain sandwiches. And I'm just like, yo, no. I'm used to mac and cheese and chicken tenders, buddy. You know what I mean? And applesauce.
Now, what? I know you're a foodie. What food and or like thing are you wanting to eat like that? You know you can't get it in America. Like, what are you? Top of your head, like, what are you wanting to eat? Is it crickets? Is it snakes? Or like, what do you want to eat?
I know a lot in the Asian cultures. They eat grasshoppers and crickets and stuff like that. And I heard the protein source on that is also very high.
Yeah.
So now I'm just intrigued to see like if it tastes good. Like I know now down south they have raccoon stew, which is wild to me.
Wow.
Because raccoon stew is a thing. In El Salvador they eat armadillos.
Okay, I've heard of that.
So I'm just like trying to understand how that tastes. Down south they eat crocodiles and alligators. That meat tastes like chicken. So you'll be surprised on the flavor of stuff. So if a grasshopper tastes mad good, I'm gonna shoot the shot.
I mean, I've ate mealworms here. Mealworms. I haven't ate grubs. That's kind of like I want the grubs right out of the tree, like the rotten tree, or like out of coconut. This coconut grubs are like this huge. I haven't ate that, but if you come by, we'll try some weird stuff. We'll try some weird stuff over there. But I mean,
As long as I don't get food poisoning.
outside of the Philippines, and not obviously you've been in Egypt. What are the top three countries you would like to visit and dine and eat their food, experience their food?
Top three countries. I love Peruvian food. So I actually want to go to Peru and try actual Peruvian food in Peru. Number two. This is rough. Yeah, this is rough. Because everything from native city itself tastes way better.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like going and having Chinese food from China.
Yeah.
As you know what I'm saying? Like we're having food. So number two, I would love to try straight Greek, also Mediterranean food, no, actually, I'm sorry, Italian.
Oh, from Italy.
The stories I've been hearing of Italian, because we have a lot of fusion of American Italian touches.
Right.
So the goal is to definitely try Italian, but definitely Peruvian is absolutely number one on my list. With number two, I would definitely think the Italian. I want the fresh pasta, the actual pizza and the espresso back home. The beauty of the seafood. Yeah, like I'm definitely intrigued into that Italian touch of food. And then I had French food before in France. I wasn't really like bonkered on it. And it would probably either be an Asian or African country. I would probably, because as much as I mean, obviously I tried the sources of Egypt, but I'm definitely interested in probably Pakistani food from the actual source. Because when I went to Manchester, England, I had a Pakistani food from a restaurant called El Medina, and I was mind blown.
Really?
I was mind blown. Yeah, it was so good. And my boys who are very picky, who don't like certain types of food. One of my boys hates curry. He went in there and he raved. So
Wow.
I definitely want to see how it is back home with that.
That's really nice. I mean,
I think my favorite cuisine in general is Asian. The Asian cuisine. When I mean Asia, it's the whole heart of Asia. Now, when it comes to that, if you look at Peruvian, for example, which is one of my favorite food, is a fusion between Asian and China when the Chinese came over.
yeah.
So
a lot of Japanese live there too, right? I think a lot of Japanese live there. A lot of Japanese.
So there's a lot of Asian fusion. A lot of things that have fusion is absolute. It's also the best.
I don't know if it was Peru, but isn't Peru the one they eat like guinea pigs?
I'm not too sure.
Cause like high up in the hills, I forgot the cultures, but I do want to try to eat a guinea pig one day though, because they
I'm good. They're mad cute. They're mad cute.
Would you eat a rabbit?
I eat rabbit.
But you wouldn't eat a guinea pig.
Great way to look at it.
Why don't you give everyone a shout out to all your socials?
First of all, shout out to you for having me. If y'all don't know, Gil was one of my biggest inspiration. One of the biggest reasons why I fell in love with martial arts. Probably is the reason. And was a big of like you had a big toll on me, bro. When I was definitely young, you were one of the biggest people that
I appreciate
definitely kept me sane. And once obviously you left, that's when I don't want to say I crumbled, but it wasn't obviously the relationship wasn't the same. But for sure, like I totally appreciate you from day one for always spending your time and teaching me and being my better self. Now, shout out to everybody who is watching. Always chase your dreams, always chase your goals. You guys know what you guys want, and keep going at it. A lot of people around you is gonna probably be family, friends, girlfriends, loved ones. They're not gonna ever support you. You have to support yourself, because if you don't support yourself, it's never gonna happen. So believe in the process. Overnight success is not a thing unless God wants that to happen. But the overnight success is always a minimum of 10 years, and you probably know that, Gil, because we're still chasing it.
Oh yeah, of course.
So keep believing in yourself, believe in the project. But if you guys want to find me, I'm at _OSSKIII on Instagram. TikTok and all that, it would just be a underscore chef and Oski again. So you can catch me on all those socials. Likewise with YouTube. If you guys are soccer fans, follow my YouTube, Footy Fanatics FC, and I would love to see you guys there.